very good evening to one and all. I welcome you all to Ganesh IAS Academy. In today's session, we'll be seeing environment-based current affairs from the date July 21st to July 27th, 2023. Okay, so let us get into the news articles one by one. The first news for the day, for the session is tiger orchids. So what are tiger orchids? Why are they in news? That we have to know. Tiger orchids are in bloom at Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanic Garden and Research Institute. எங்க இருக்குது? Vellore, Kerala. It is at Vellore, Kerala, and it is in bloom there in that particular institute. Why is it important? That we have to see, because the plant was listed by Guinness Book of World Records as world's tallest orchid. So this is why it is becoming important. It is world's tallest orchid, and then it is also the largest orchid species present in the world. Okay, it is the world's tallest orchid and also largest orchid species in the world. Other than that, what are its characteristics? Why is it called tiger orchid? Because it has large resplendent flowers which resemble the tiger's skin. Okay, I'll show you the picture. You will understand why is it called tiger orchid. Okay, next, it flowers in alternate years and remains in bloom for about a month. Okay, only in alternate years it will be flowering and then it will remain in bloom for about a month. All these points are very important. Okay, so let us see the flower. So this is how the flower will be looking. Tiger orchid. So it has distinct patterns like tigers, so it is called tiger orchid. What are the other important features about this tiger orchid? Its geographical distribution. Okay, this epiphytic plant, this is a epiphytic or epiphytic plant, is not native to India. It is not a native plant to India, and it is endemic to Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines and Papua New Guinea. Okay, so it is endemic to these areas, that is Southeast Asian nations like these, but it is not native to India. Okay, that is one important point. Other than that, we also saw it is an epiphytic plant. So what is an epiphyte? Epiphytes are those plants which grow on the surface of a plant. Those are the plants which grow on the surface of another plant, and then it will derive its moisture and nutrients from air, rain, water, and from the debris which is getting accumulated around it. Okay, so such plants are called as epiphytic plants. Okay, they won't live in the soil, but then they will be living on the surface of another plant. Such plants are called epiphytic plant, and this tiger orchid is one of the epiphytic plants. Next, its native habitat. It is present in terrestrial biomes. So it is not an aquatic plant, but it is a terrestrial plant. So it is primarily found in rainforest, freshwater swamp forest and also in riverine areas. Other than that, what is its preferred climatic zone? It is grown well in tropical and subtropical areas, and it is also grown in monsoonal areas. India is a monsoon country, so it is growing well here. Okay. Next, sites protection. Under sites protection, it is kept under Appendix 2. All these points are very important from exam point of view. Okay. So the next news for the session is Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve. Why is this tiger reserve in news? That we have to understand. Because the forest department has identified 12 illegal, unauthorized and unrecognized resorts in this particular tiger reserve, that is Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve, which is present in Theni division. Okay, Megamalai division of the Theni district. Okay, other important facts of this tiger reserves are, it was established in the year 2021. So it is a very recent tiger reserve of Tamil Nadu, and it is the 5th tiger reserve in Tamil Nadu and 51st tiger reserve in India. All these points are important from prelims point of view. Next, it provides protection to Megamalai, and this Megamalai is Vaigai's primary catchment area. Okay, so Megamalai area is a catchment area for Vaigai river, and thus it will also help in water level to rise in Vaigai river. Okay, so when we go for protection of this Megamalai Tiger Reserve, it will also lead to increase in water levels in Vaigai river. So all these points are important. Next, what else do we have to know about Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve? First thing is fauna. Okay, what are the animals which are found in this particular tiger reserve? We have Bengal tiger, elephants. We have Bengal tiger, elephants, gaur, Indian giant squirrels. Okay, especially Srivilliputhur has a wildlife sanctuary for Indian giant squirrels, and then leopard and Nilgiri thars. Nilgiri thar is a state animal of Tamil Nadu. So this is important. Next, coming to flora, it has a mixture of forest. See, it has tropical evergreen forest. India is a tropical country, so it has tropical evergreen forest. Next, it also has semi-evergreen forest. Other than that, India, like if we say which is the major part of forest in India, then we say it is deciduous. Okay, so it has both dry deciduous forest and moist mixed deciduous forest. Other than that, it also has grasslands. Okay, this particular tiger reserve has all these forest types and also grasslands. This is important. What are the other tiger reserves of Tamil Nadu? Okay, in Tamil Nadu there are 5 tiger reserves, and one we already saw, that is Srivilliputhur Megamalai, and the other 4 are Anamalai Tiger Reserve, Kalakad Mundandurai Tiger Reserve, Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, and Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. So these are very important. Okay. Moving on, see this question. Okay, we'll look at a question. Among the following tiger reserves, which one has the largest area under critical tiger habitat? Why are we looking at this question? Because just to give you an example, like how questions will be asked from so and so topic. Why do we have to give importance to tiger reserves concept? Because previously questions based on tiger reserves have been asked many a times. So that is why I have included few questions here. Among the following tiger reserves, which one has the largest area under critical tiger habitat? The answer for this is Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve. Okay, so questions like this have been asked in the past. Next, with reference to India's Desert National Park, okay, which is present in Rajasthan, which of the following statements are correct? First thing is, it is spread over 2 districts. Yes, it is spread over 2 districts. There is no human habitation inside the park. No, this is not the correct statement. Next, it is one of the natural habitats of great Indian bustard. This is important. Okay, it is a critically endangered bird species. So, great Indian bustard. So, the answer for this is 1 and 3 only, because there is human habitation inside the park. Okay, so statements like this have also been asked. Okay, so we must have to give importance to what are the particular bird species or animal species in that particular tiger reserve or a national park, and where is it located, what is its geographical location. All these things you must have to focus. So that is why I have given this example. Next, the topic that we are going to discuss is agarias. Who are these agarias? Recently, salt pan workers, commonly known as agarias. In Gujarat, there is salt pan workers. There are salt pan workers who are called as agarias. Why are they in news? Because they presented a representation to Gujarat Chief Minister urging the state to intervene in response to instructions from Forest Department which restricted their entry into Little Run of Kutch. Why are these people, that is agarias, being restricted entry into this Little Run of Kutch? The history we have to see. First thing is, Little Run of Kutch was declared as a wildlife sanctuary. For which animal? For wild ass. Okay, it has been declared as a wild ass sanctuary in the year 1972. Okay, and in the year 1977 itself, they conducted a settlement survey, and under this settlement survey, they permitted salt cultivation and leasing land to salt workers. But here, the traditional agarias were exempted or excluded from the benefits of the settlement survey. Okay, what is the benefit here? Permitting salt cultivation and leasing the land to salt workers. Okay, but then these agarias were left out. That is why they are raising the concern. And then recently there is an ongoing scrutiny which is conducted by Gujarat High Court and National Green Tribunal. Why are they conducting a scrutiny because they have to resolve the land poaching activities in this particular area. That is why this practice is being done, and it is done on this 1997 settlement survey. Okay, they are scrutinizing this settlement survey. That is why again Agarias are raising their concern. What are their concerns? Let us understand that in little more detail. Salt pan workers, okay, Koli, Sandhi and Miana communities. These are the communities which are primarily engaging in salt cultivation activity in Little Run of Kutch. They are residing in 100 to 125 villages around the Little Run of Kutch in North Gujarat, Kutch and also in Saurashtra region, and they are dependent on salt cultivation. You must have to remember these names, that is Koli, Sandhi and Miana communities. Okay. Next, they are engaged in this profession for more than 600 to 700 years. Okay, so it is their life source. Next, what are the concerns raised? In meetings held at 16 villages, okay, of these 100 villages, meetings were held only at 16 villages, and then from that the forest departments have removed the names of 95% of 8,000 families of Agarias. Okay, of the 8,000 families of Agarias, 95% of them were excluded from this settlement survey. Okay, and of the 5%, I mean the most of the Agarias who were listed under this survey are not alive now. So none of the Agarias are getting benefits from this settlement survey. That is why they have raised the concern. Next is, what are the arguments raised by Agarias in their defense? First thing is wild ass population and man-animal conflict. What they are saying is, according to census data shown, it shows significant rise in wild ass population in this particular area, that is Little Run of Kutch, from 700 in 1973 to 6,082 in 2019. There has been a drastic increase or significant increase in the wild ass population. So what they are saying is, if there was man-animal conflict, how the population would have increased. So what they are saying is, we are living with them in a very good way. Okay, so we are not being a threat to that particular wild ass. So there is no man-animal conflict is what they are claiming. Okay, this is their first argument. Next is salt pan workers land use. How much of land they are going to use? They are going to use only 6% of the total land area for salt cultivation. Okay, so in the entire Little Run of Kutch, only 6% of the land area is being taken for salt cultivation, and the rest of the area is for the sanctuary. Okay, for wild ass conservation. So what they are saying is, we are not going to disturb them, we are going to do our work and they will be living happily in their habitat. Okay, this is what their second argument is. So both these arguments are very valid. Next is, we have to discuss about the wild ass sanctuary because we are discussing environment topic. So from this, these sanctuaries and tiger reserves, national parks becomes very important topic for us. So we have to discuss about the wild ass sanctuary that has been mentioned here. Where is it located? It is located in Little Run of Kutch in the state of Gujarat. Next, it is the only place where the wild ass is found. I mean the Indian wild ass is found. Okay, and it is locally called as Kachar. This Indian wild ass is locally called as Kachar. Next is, the sanctuary is home to sizable population of two tribes, that is Rabari and Barwad tribe. Okay, Rabari and Barwad tribes are present in this sanctuary. Other than that, this wild ass is a subspecies of Asian wild ass. That is also a point to be remembered. Next, it is characterized by distinctive white markings. I'll show you the picture. It is characterized by distinctive white markings on the anterior part of the rump and also the posterior part of the shoulder, and a stripe down the back that is bordered by white. So when you see the picture, you'll understand it better. How we can identify the wild ass. So you have white patches here at the bottom and also at the top, like a line, you'll see white patches. That is how they are distinct from other ass. Okay. Its distribution. World's last population of Indian wild ass is restricted to this region, that is Rann of Kutch region of Gujarat. So only in this region we can find wild ass. Next, its habitat. Where is it found? It is found in desert and grassland ecosystem. This is also important, and we have to see its conservation status. First thing is, under IUCN it is designated as near threatened, and then under CITES it is under Appendix 2, and Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 places it in Schedule 1. Okay, so all these points are very important from exam point of view. Next, let us see a question. This was a previous question which was asked in the year 2009. Okay, among the following, who is the Agaria community? A traditional toddy tappers community of Andhra Pradesh, a traditional fishing community of Maharashtra, a traditional silk weaving community of Karnataka, a traditional salt pan workers community of Gujarat. We just saw Agarias are salt cultivators. Okay, so they are salt pan workers community of Gujarat. Okay, so statements like this have been asked in the past, so we must have to give importance even to such communities, such tribes which are in news. Okay, next, the next topic for the day is Ludwigia peruviana, which is an invasive species. Okay, we are going to see two invasive species. I mean, one invasive species and another one is weed. The first thing is the invasive species, that is Ludwigia peruviana. Why is it in the news? An invasive weed called Ludwigia peruviana is posing a significant threat where in Tamil Nadu it is being a threat to elephant habitats and also in foraging areas. Okay, in foraging areas and elephant habitat it is being a threat, especially in Valparai region of Tamil Nadu. This Ludwigia peruviana, also known as primrose willow, it is also known as primrose willow. It is native to Central and South America. If it is invasive species in India, it must be native to some other area, right? So it is native to Central and South America. Next, it is an aquatic plant. All this is important. That was likely introduced as an ornamental species because of its attractive pale yellowish flowers. Okay, because of its attractive flowers, it has been introduced in India, but it is causing a major problem to Indian plants and animals. Okay, its impact on elephants and wildlife and also biodiversity. Let us understand. It is disrupting the growth of essential. It is disrupting the growth of essential food sources for elephants and also other plant-eating animals. Okay, because it is interrupting the growth of other important plants which are needed for elephants and other plant-eating animals. Other than that, it also impacts the overall biodiversity of invaded areas, and it is leading to loss of native plant species. Other than that, it is also potentially forcing wildlife to move to other areas. This point is important. Okay, since these elephants are not getting the plants that it needed in that particular area, they are forced to go to other areas where humans are settled. So it will lead to human animal conflict. So negative interaction with humans may occur. Okay, so these are the consequences of invasive plants, directly or indirectly. So this is that plant, Ludwigia peruviana. Okay, the next topic is another weed species, that is silver coxcomb. Okay, silver coxcomb, also known as Lagos spinach, is a troublesome weed that can spread rapidly and hinder the growth of other crops. Okay, however, there is a particular tribe in Karnataka called Soliga tribe. Okay, this tribe is considering it as a nutritious leaf green vegetable, using it in traditional dishes. It is a weed which is causing problem to other plants, but then here this tribe is considering this particular weed as a nutritious leafy vegetable. Okay, and they are using it in their traditional dishes. Okay, it is also backed by scientific studies. Okay, scientific studies have shown that silver coxcomb has beneficial properties like antibacterial activity, high nutrient content like vitamin E, calcium and iron, and a lower levels of harmful substances like oxalic acid and phytic acid. Okay, so for these reasons it is being used. This is that plant. Next, this weed is prevalent in regions like South and Southeast Asia, Latin America and parts of US and Australia, and has been used by communities worldwide for medicinal purposes and as wild vegetable and fodder. It is also used as a food for cattle. Okay, that is fodder. Okay. Next, by documenting and exploring traditional knowledge, this silver coxcomb could potentially be recognized as a valuable superfood. Though it is a weed, it can be recognized as a valuable superfood if it is grown in particular areas. Okay, so you must have to remember these points. The next topic for this session is Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. Why is it in news? Recently, in a significant development for tiger conservation efforts, the Goa bench of Bombay High Court has issued directive to Goa government to notify this particular sanctuary, that is Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary and its surrounding areas as tiger reserve. Okay, under which act? Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, within 3 months from this day, that is 24th July 2023. The decision comes after pressure, from whom? Prolonged legal battle and demands from environmentalists and conservationists. Okay, due to their efforts only, this decision has been taken by the Goa bench of Bombay High Court. Okay, the tiger reserves are notified by state governments. This point is very important. Every word in this point, in this statement is important. Tiger reserves are notified by whom? They are notified by state governments. Okay, as per the provisions of which section? Section 38V of which act? Of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, and on whose advice? National Tiger Conservation Authority's advice. So who's the advising body here? National Tiger Conservation Authority. Under which act it is done? Wildlife Protection Act. Which provision? Which section? Section 38V. And then who is doing it? The state government has to do it. Okay, so all these points are very important. Next is Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. We have to see about the wildlife sanctuary also, its location, what are its faunal and floral species, those details we have to see. It is located in northern part of Goa, which encompasses 2 waterfalls, that is Vazra Sakla waterfalls and Vriddhi waterfalls. Other than that, it is also known for its nesting ground for what? Critically endangered long-billed vultures. So this Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary is a nesting ground for critically endangered long-billed vultures, okay, which is near this Vazra Falls. And then its diverse landscape, it has a diverse landscape with thick moist deciduous forest. So here you can find thick moist deciduous forest and also some evergreen species. Okay, next, it is notable for sacred grove protecting rare and indigenous trees. So what is sacred grove? Sacred grove is a particular area where forest is grown, trees are grown, which has religious importance. Okay, so it will be having a religious connotation for the people who is growing it. Okay, so such areas are called as sacred groves. So Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary also has a sacred grove. Next is Mhadei River, which is the lifeline of Goa, originates in Karnataka. It passes through this sanctuary and it drains in Arabian Sea, where? At Panaji, capital of Goa. And then this sanctuary also acts as the catchment area for this Mhadei River. So all these points are very, very important. Next, what are the flora and fauna of this particular wildlife sanctuary? It has rich biodiversity with Indian gaur, tigers, barking deer, sambar deer, wild boar, that is pig kind of thing, and then Indian hare, rabbit. Okay. Next, it attracts herpetologists. Who are herpetologists? People who are experts in the study of reptiles and amphibians are called as herpetologists. It attracts herpetologists because of the presence of various snakes. Snake is a reptile, right? So it includes big 4 venomous snakes. All the big 4 venomous snakes are present in this wildlife sanctuary. We already saw a detailed discussion about this snake species, okay, big four species in one of our previous sessions. You can go and revisit it, okay. Indian krait, Russell's viper, saw-scaled viper and spectacled cobra, okay. This is also called Naja Naja or the common cobra, common Indian cobra, okay. And this Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary is designated as International Bird Area for hosting several bird species, especially Malabar parakeet and Rufous babbler. These two are the bird species which are most widely found here. Next is, it represents a crucial habitat for tiger conservation. This is also important, okay. Consider the following protected areas. Next, one of the previous year questions. Bandipur, Bhitarkanika, Manas, Sundarbans. Which of the above are declared as tiger reserves? Now, Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary is being, the Goa High Court, the Goa bench of Bombay High Court is saying that you have to notify this wildlife sanctuary as a tiger reserve within 3 months. That is what they are saying. So, the question here is, which of the above is declared as a tiger reserve? So such questions are also important, and in this, Bandipur is a tiger reserve, Manas is a tiger reserve and Sundarbans is a tiger reserve, whereas Bhitarkanika is not a tiger reserve. It is a national park, okay. So such distinctions you must have to know. So the answer for this is B, that is 1, 3 and 4, whereas 2, Bhitarkanika is a national park and not a tiger reserve, okay. Next, the last topic for the day is Russia's Batagaika crater. Why is this crater in news? Because this crater is expanding. Why? The world's largest 1 kilometer long permafrost crater expands due to global warming and thawing of permafrost. What is permafrost? That we have to understand, and what is this thawing process? That also we must have to know. So what is permafrost? Permafrost are those areas, okay, permafrost is any ground that remains completely frozen for at least 2 years straight. For continuous 2 years, if that area is in a frozen condition, then such areas are known as permafrost, and this is experiencing thawing. Thawing means melting of the frozen ice is called as thawing, okay. So it is experiencing thawing because of global warming. What is the other reason that has been mentioned here? It is deforestation. So the other reason is deforestation has triggered the underground permafrost melting and causing the craters to grow in this area, that is Sakha Republic of Russia, okay. And it also holds dangerous organic carbon which aggravates global warming. This particular crater has dangerous organic carbon. If it is getting released due to thawing of this permafrost, then there are high chances of global warming getting aggravated. So all these points are important, okay. Russia is warming at an alarming rate because this occurrence is at an alarming rate approximately 2.5 times faster than the global average, okay, than the global average in this particular area, that is Russia area, the Russian region. The thawing is happening at a very fast rate, that is 2.5 times faster than the global average. So this is important. Next is, so as a result, large areas of country's long frozen tundra covering about 65% of its land mass are experiencing significant thawing, releasing potent greenhouse gas like methane, which we already discussed. And these permanently frozen grounds are most common in regions with high mountains and in Earth's higher latitudes near North and South Pole. This is important, okay. So these permanently frozen grounds, these are permanently frozen grounds which are most common in regions with high mountains. So when we go to the peaks of the mountain, say above 4,500 meters, then we may experience such permafrost. Other than that, such permafrost is also found in higher latitudes, that is in polar areas, North Pole and South Pole. So this is important, okay. Next, we saw a word that is tundra, right? What is tundra here? Tundra is actually a biome. And what is its characteristic that we'll understand? So, large areas of countries long frozen tundra. Which country? Russia. Okay. So, what is this tundra that we'll understand briefly, and then we'll wind up today's session. There are 5 types of terrestrial biomes. Okay. And what are biomes that we have to understand? Biomes are nothing but divisions of ecosystem. Okay, biomes are divisions of ecosystem, and they are named after the largest biomass present in that particular region. Okay, and then there are 2 primary regulators of any terrestrial ecosystem. One is sunlight and another is water. So how are we going to classify these biomes? First is tundra, that is it has sunlight deficit and waterlogged condition in summers. Okay, it is deficit in sunlight because it receives slanting rays. Okay, say for example this is sun's rays is reaching earth, so it will reach like this, right? Here in equatorial regions you will experience direct sun rays, whereas here you will be experiencing slanting sun rays in polar regions. So in polar regions you will be experiencing slanting sun rays. That is why there is deficit sunlight, but then it has waterlogged conditions in summer, whereas in winter this water will be frozen. Okay, that is the unique feature of tundra. Next comes desert biome. Its feature is sunlight surplus and water deficit. Obviously, deserts are those areas where you have surplus sunlight and then the water is deficit. This is the major feature. Then surplus sunlight, water deficient areas are called as deserts, because we also have cold deserts. There sunlight surplus is not applicable. Okay, so water deficit is the key feature of desert biome. Next is forest. It has surplus sunlight and also surplus water. That is why it is forest. There is more trees present in forest, right? So it is due to presence of more sunlight and more water. Other than that, there is also grassland biome, which has moderate sunlight and moderate water. Grassland means moderate sunlight, moderate water. And we also have another biome called savanna biome, which is a transitional zone between grassland and forest. Okay, so there will be grassland, savanna, and then forest. So this is how it will be there. Okay, so we have 5 different terrestrial biomes. These are terrestrial biomes. So here you have tundra. Okay, so this tundra is found both in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. In northern hemisphere it's called Arctic tundra, and in southern hemisphere it's called Antarctic tundra. Okay, so there animals and plants will be having their own adaptations, which we'll discuss in a separate session. Okay, we'll be seeing in detail about these biomes in one of our separate sessions. Okay, so with this we'll wind up the class for today. I hope you enjoyed this session and you found it to be very useful and informative. So let us see in next session. Thank you.